G'day kids, Ozzie here. Now this is going to be an awesome episode because we've come along to a place called Calmsley Hill City Farm and we're going to learn about, you guessed it, farmyard animals. This is going to be a cracker, kids, so come on, let's get inside and check it out. Now just before we get started on today's episode, kids, let me just remind you about our merch items available on our website, like our mini Aussie hat made just for kids' heads. One of my favourites, Aussie socks, with a nice little message reminding you to always stay keen. You can get yourself a sweatband, just like Aussie's, but even cooler, with Aussie's logo. Or a mini replica Aussie tee made just for you kids. Or, brand new to our website, is our personalised video message made just for you from Ozzie. Right now available on our website, aussieforkids.com.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
Kids. All right, so we've come along to the farmyard nursery and I'm meeting a nice gentleman here. What's your name?
My name's Ryan.
I'm Ozzie, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Ozzie.
Thanks so much for having us
That's
here.
all right.
Now, what animals can we learn about here today?
Well, would you like to come on in and we'll have a chat about them, eh?
Certainly would. Let's go, kids. So what have we got here, Ryan?
All right, so we've got a few goats and a few sheep in our nursery today. And there's a few things our goats can give us here on the farm. So we can use them for our milk. Usually we find milk from our cows, but can get milk from our goats.
Goat's milk,
okay.
Of course.
Yeah, perfect. You can make some cheese out of your goat's milk
Goat's cheese
well.
is good.
It's beautiful. And then we can also use some of our goats for wool as well, just like our sheep.
There's lots of different coloured goats I've noticed in here.
Yes.
Are they from different families? Are they different species? What's the difference between the white, then we've got a white and a bit of brown, then we've got a brown and black? And they've all got horns, is that right?
That's right. So goats can have horns, and it can be the boys and the girls that can have horns as well. And there's lots of different types of goats. So you can have lots of different breeds of goats. And some will have different colours, like we've got this white one down here. You can have ones with brown and speckled ears. And you can see some of them will have really long, floppy ears, whereas some of them will have really short ears as well. And
yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. Just a bit like us, we come in lots of different shapes and colours and sizes, and it's the same with all of our goats.
Okay, now notice this guy over here, he's got a little beard on his chin.
So this is Tumble here.
Tumble, hello Tumble. Now is Tumble a male goat?
Tumble is a girl goat actually.
Okay, so is that where the name goatee comes from?
It may come from that little beard that they've got underneath their chin there.
Yeah, now goats, they're not reptiles.
No.
They're not. Are they mammals?
That's right, they are mammals.
They are mammals.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay, so there's quite a few goats in here. Is this where they live? Is this where they spend all their days?
Well, here on the farm, you know, they spend a fair bit of time in our nursery here. Keeps them nice and covered from all the rain and the hot days. But they do get to go out into a paddock in the afternoon as well. So they get to roam in a whole paddock and they're going to graze on grass in the paddock. So they'll be eating on lots of that during the night. Sometimes they'll eat different leaves from different trees as well. So they like to eat lots of different things, goats. Yeah, they like to pick at lots of different things. But what we like to give them is things called chaff, and that's a little bit like dried grass, or you might know it as hay. We can give them some hay as well, and that's a bit of the same thing. It's dried so we can keep it for a really long time when we're ready to give it to them, so they'll feed on a bit of that during the day and then grass in the afternoon.
Fantastic. These aren't native to Australia, are they?
No. So we brought them into Australia so we can, use them for their milk, and some countries even use goats for meat as well. Yep. But there's definitely lots of goats in Australia.
Lots and lots of goats.
Lots of goats in Australia. So there's lots of them in the bush, lots of different farms in Australia as well as our farm that we've got here.
Yeah, great.
So here we do have one of our sheep.
Hello. Now, is this a boy or a girl?
So this one's a boy sheep.
And how do we know that?
Well, with our sheep, it's only the boys that tend to get these horns here that we can see on top of this sheep's head here.
Okay.
It's really easy to tell them apart from the girls and the boys, okay? And obviously with our sheep as well, we know that we can get lots of wool from them. So you can see all of this fur here. This is actually called wool. And just like our hair, it keeps growing. So we need to give them a haircut.
Yeah.
And we like to do that about once a year. So only get one haircut a year.
One
That's
haircut
it.
a year.
That is
That's pretty
it.
handy, isn't it?
I know, I wish I got a haircut once a year.
Be good, wouldn't it? Now, what's it called when you cut their hair?
So we call it shearing. So we shear their wool off. Yeah.
Okay. And so is this guy nearly ready to be?
Definitely, yeah. So for this sheep, it'll be his first ever haircut when it's time to get a haircut. So
Okay.
it's yeah, very, very soon. It's going to have the first year ever.
And now what about the females over here?
So we've got a few girls over here as well, so we can see that they don't have any horns on them, and they're a little bit younger than Bart at the moment. So we can see not too much wool at the moment, so they've got to wait a little bit longer before they're ready for their haircut.
Okay. Now what do these guys and girls eat?
So just like our goats, they love to eat a bit of grass, and they get to go out into the paddock at the end of the day as well and feed on the grass out in the paddocks. A bit of chaff as well, so they like to munch on a bit of that chaff that we have for them as well. Yeah,
cool.
They love that.
Now, have they eaten today, or do you think that
they've eaten a little bit? But I think they might be a
Ozzie
little
could
bit
feed them
hungry.
something
I
else?
reckon you could feed them something.
Ooh,
so hang there, and
this
I'm
is
going
exciting.
to grab you a bit of food. I bet they'll love a little bit of what we've got today.
Oh yeah, that looks tasty. Now, who wants some food? Don't all jump at once. What about you? You like some food? Oh yeah.
No.
Oh, we've got a goat coming in to say hi.
It's got Tumble.
Hello, Tumble.
Eating too quick, Tumble. We've got little Bart who's going to have a little feed too.
Now, I just noticed this one over here.
Yeah.
This one has no wool left. So has that been shorn recently?
Yeah, so actually yesterday this one got a bit of a haircut. So yeah, first ever haircut. And you've given her a little bit of a haircut. So when we give them a haircut, she's called a shorn sheep.
Shorn sheep. Just like the TV show, Shaun the Sheep.
That is right. So she's had a little bit of a name change after she's had a haircut. We call her Shauna.
Shauna. What was her name before?
Her name was Barbara.
Barbara. Now it's Shauna.
And now
You guys are pretty clever with the naming. That's awesome. Now, is she likely to be a lot colder without all that wool on her?
No, so at the moment she's pretty happy in the nursery here. So after they get a haircut, if it's a little bit cold, they get to stay inside for a little bit. G'day, mate. And then we wait till they get a little bit of wool. So maybe in about a week or two's time, she might get a nice thick layer of wool to keep her nice and warm.
Yeah, great. Once these sheep have been shorn,
Yeah.
what do we actually do with the wool?
Right, so once we take the wool off, here on the farm, we put it in these really big bags and we get to sell our wool. And then once it's sold, it might be turned into some thread. We might be able to turn it into some jumpers or beanies or scarves and lots of stuff to keep us nice and warm in winter.
Very good stuff.
Yeah.
So these animals provide us with the wool to keep us warm in the winter.
That's right.
The goats provide us with the milk as well.
Yep.
Is there anything else that sheep give us?
So we can use our sheep for meat as well, but here on our farm we mainly use all of our sheep for all of their wool here. Yeah.
Very good. All right, so should we go and meet some of the older sheep that you've got here?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go kids.
So we've got some of our larger sheep here.
Okay, and how old are these sheep?
So we've got the girl over there that has the black fur. Okay, so she's now about 5 years old. And then this one over here is only 2 years old.
Wow,
Yeah.
there you go. Not much size difference really between 5 and 2 years.
No, well, they don't look too different, but I can tell you what, that other girl there is much, much heavier.
Yeah, no, I bet. Now, I hear something behind us, Ryan. Now, can you explain to us what's happening over here?
We've actually got one of our farmers cracking some whips.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's cool.
do you
Makes
know
a really loud noise. But what's a whip used for?
Well, it's actually used to move our cows around the farm.
Okay.
Yeah, so what we use them for is when we want to move our cows into a different paddock, so they've got some nice grassy, lots of grass to eat. Okay, so Farmer Rob will crack his whip to move them in that direction. So they don't like the sound, but Farmer Rob would never use the whips to hit the animals.
It doesn't actually hit them, it's
No.
the sound that they respond to.
That's right, yeah.
So that trick looks like it's very difficult, and Rob needs a little bit more work on
It
that
does
one.
need a little bit more
Everyone
practice
needs
on
practice,
that
right?
trick. Yeah, so he's learning. It's called the double hospital, and
Yeah.
it's very
Sounds
hard to
dangerous.
do. Very, very tricky, but at least he's given it a crack.
Absolutely, he's giving it a crack. I like it. Hey, you got jokes just like Ozzie. So kids, I've just watched the Working Dog Show, and that dog out there, his name is Ace, and he is a very, very clever dog. He is an Australian Kelpie, and his job is to round those sheep up. So he's been trained to get all those sheep to do what he wants them to do. Pretty clever, isn't it? So what he's doing now is he's rounding them up, which means bringing them all in to where the farmer wants them. And they need their medicine today. So he's bringing them all into this special area here, and he's going to line them all up. Now, he's so clever that he can do the same amount of work as 4 humans on motorbikes. So he can round up the same amount of sheep as 4 grown adults riding motorbikes can do. One dog. Super clever, isn't it? And check him out, he'll just run around, back and forward, around behind those sheep, and they'll just follow everything that he wants them to do. And look at what he's done, managed to bring them inside this special area, and then the farmer will come in, open that gate, and then that dog will stay behind them and keep directing them where he wants them to go. All right, well, we've certainly seen lots and lots of animals today. You've been a wealth of information. You've taught me a lot, and hopefully the kids at home have learned a lot as well. So thank you so much, Ryan, for having us here at Calmsley Hill City Farm.
Yes.
Kids, if you want to come along to Calmsley Hill City Farm, it's definitely the place to be to learn about all these animals, get up close and personal, see where the food comes from and the important role that farms play in our culture. Thank you again.
You're welcome. No worries.
Kids, hope you've learnt lots, hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you again on the next episode. Until then, stay keen. Hey kids, did you have lots of fun today watching Ozzie? I hope so. Did you know that we've got a heap of Ozzie episodes on our YouTube channel? If you haven't already, go back and have a scroll through. I reckon you'll find some others that you absolutely love. And while you're there, why don't you hit subscribe? That way you won't miss out on any of our new videos that we bring out. We'll see you again soon, kids. Until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Ozzie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Ozzie, 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 oi. Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.